Buying or selling a home is one of the most important decisions you'll make in your entire life. Call the Holly Ritchie team today for a free market analysis.
Hi everyone, welcome to STN or Spaying the Need, Stories from Your Lifestyle. I'm here with Jack Kravitz, and we're here to talk about cooking for the holidays. Jack, everyone loves a good cooking segment, especially cooking in the family.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming by. We know that we're a couple weeks from the holidays for holiday parties as well as Christmas. So what we're going to cook are a variety of different things today, from chicken noodle soup to strudel to you name it, we got it.
Yeah. Well, why we pick these things out is, well, first of all, the chicken soup.
Right.
You know, it's the holidays. It gets cold. We're inside. We're close together.
Yes.
You need that quick energy. Well, there's nothing better than chicken soup, homemade chicken soup. Jewish penicillin, as we like to think of it.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, easy thing for us to do. Then we have strudel.
Right.
The reason I like strudel, a couple of things. One is everybody's really impressed if you make strudel.
Makes you look good.
Makes you look good. It's not, and I hope my whole emphasis, my cooking, in my classes, have been trying to demystify the cooking process.
Okay.
And strudel's one of those, and that's been always one of the popular things that I've done. Mm-hmm. And I picked out two strudels that we're going to do.
Okay, that'll be good. And just for everyone's update, he is now retired officially. So if you don't know that, he is retired, but he's come back out of retirement for us. So we appreciate, but I think the one question that a lot of people want to ask before we kind of dive into everything, how did you get started in cooking? Because you've been doing it for a very long time. So talk about kind of how you got started in that.
You know, I cooked a lot when I was younger. My mom was always working. She was in the deli business, and she was always working. Didn't necessarily have time to cook, and she wasn't a very patient person. So her cooking, although she knew good food, wasn't always the best. So I said, let me do some of the cooking. I had learned to cook just so we'd have some good nutritious food. And I've always liked it. Even through college, I cooked for my roommates. They'd like having me as a roommate.
Oh yeah, you want him? It's like you're the first person we picked for something that's competitive. We got him.
Yeah, and even through law school, I was cooking. And then my mom was getting a little bit older, and my dad had just died. And I said, let me go try the deli business for a while. And there, of course, is cooking there.
Right.
But it's not French chef cooking. This is really good down home, quick cooking, and then that's kind of what I got into.
Then that is it for over 30, 40 years doing it.
Yeah, that's it. And then now since I've been home, it's changed because I've been learning how to bake at home.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Well, I'm used to. I learned how to make bagels at home, which was always our big thing. Well, in the old days, we'd take 300 pounds of flour and put it into the mixer. And
big mixer.
Big mixer. We had 3 of those going. Well, now it starts with a pound of flour. I look at it and go, what do I got to do with this? And I had to I had to train myself. I can make 8 at a time without putting out my mixer.
Without calling someone in to come get it repaired.
Yeah.
So let's start. So what do we got here?
We're going to start off with strudel.
Okay.
And there's different kinds of strudel.
Okay.
There is a French strudel, which is made with puff pastry.
Okay.
And this is more of a German-style strudel that's made with phyllo dough.
Okay.
Now, phyllo dough, which I have here, is a really interesting product. Now, you can make this yourself, but that would certainly go against this whole this whole laid-back cooking that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they come in very, very thin sheets.
Oh, wow.
And these aren't rolled out when they make them. They have to pull these.
Okay.
So you get a very, very thin look. The other thing is they dry out very quickly. Okay. So we need to work pretty quick on this. Okay? So that's our strudel. And I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the filling made for it. Okay. Now, this recipe I like. It's a chicken leek strudel. And actually, you can make it with a lot of different things. I happen to have had some turkey at home. Yeah. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to cut it into chunks.
You can see how that looks professional compared to some of the way we do it at home.
Yeah. And if you notice, when you're using a knife, never hold a knife like this. You have to hold it. You have to get that blade, whether you want to use this way or this way.
And always numb them like this, correct?
Yep.
You don't want to put your fingers like this.
Yeah, because you need those for later. Yeah, I'm just going to cut that down. Okay, put that aside. This is a leek. Everybody know what a leek really is. But a leek is kind of a member of the onion family, copying the onion and cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to take these, you have to cut them down. You do this, take this off, and you cut these into sections, and they'll kind of fall apart like
almost
this.
like lettuce falling apart.
Yep, and you have to, but you do have to clean it because there's a lot of sand these are grown in. So meanwhile, today, instead of you watching me cook leeks, I cooked in some olive oil. By the magic of video, we have some done. I've also taken some mushrooms.
Now, what kind of mushroom? Are these like portobello mushrooms, or are these something?
These happen to be portobello.
Okay.
Well, frankly, if you don't have portobello mushrooms, you don't need portobello mushrooms. Use button mushrooms. You don't have to have mushrooms if you don't want. Leeks the same way. If you happen to like spinach, use spinach.
So you can substitute it out. It's not that you have to stick to this type of recipe,
right?
But everything like that.
Make sure though that the spinach is, if you're using it, it's dry.
Okay.
Because it'll just run havoc all over that.
Well, any wet part of that'll fall apart like a taco.
Yep. and then I'm going to take a piece of Havarti cheese.
Now us love cheese.
Yeah, this is a Danish butter cheese. Very soft, melts really nicely.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and if you don't happen to have, I like Havarti for this a lot. If you don't happen to have Havarti, you can use mozzarella, any kind of melting cheese.
Provolone?
You could use provolone. You're going to get some stringy.
Okay.
Because provolone tends to get strings.
Right.
And the other ones don't. So.
Because I think that like when you grate the cheese, you want something that's sturdy when you're grinding it.
Yeah. But you're not grating it like that. You're just kind of grating it like this.
Right.
And so you get nice. Yeah, good stuff. And I'm just going to put this right next to it. And I'm going to start working with our phyllo dough. You want to keep your phyllo rolled up because it will dry out.
Let me ask you, where would you get some of these ingredients? Can you get them at your local store, local specialty store? You
can get phyllo a couple of places. You can find it in the frozen section of the grocery store.
Okay.
And a lot of the markets, especially the Mediterranean markets, they'll usually have phyllo.
Okay.
And it's actually a better phyllo.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this. It's just butter. And I'm going to take the butter. I'm going to put butter. I'm going to butter this. Yeah, this is not diet food. And
but it's always like when you're talking about, and this is
and a little breadcrumbs. I'm going to throw a little breadcrumb just to get good definition.
Well, it doesn't matter because during the holidays, people are expecting to eat like they haven't eaten in all year.
Yeah, and here another sheet goes right on top of that, and I'm going to treat it the same.
Okay.
And I'm soft. My butter is softened.
Okay.
It's probably even better to have a little softer than this, but
this is just melted butter.
Just melted butter. A little more of this. And then one more.
So you'll do 3 of these.
Yep.
Okay.
3 of those, 3 layers.
Kind of make a heavy thing to roll around.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to come out round because the strudel is actually a German word for whirlpool.
Oh, okay.
Because of its shape. Now I'm going to start layering this. I'll put down my poultry. And then I'm going to take some of my mushrooms.
And you could pretty much add anything to this. You can add almost like you're cooking a mixed salad, chicken salad.
Yeah, you could put that in there. Mayonnaise I might avoid, but beef you can put in.
Mm-hmm.
You can put in spinach. You can become more of like a spanakopita, which is the same idea except you're using spinach and feta cheese.
Okay. Now, what you said
These
there's
are
oil in here.
These
correct?
are leeks that I've cooked.
Okay. Just heat it up basically in a pan.
Yeah, just get them soft. And then my cheese.
I think I would just don't worry about the leeks and the mushrooms and cheese and chicken. I mean, that looks tremendous.
Now, do you want to roll it up?
We'll try.
Okay, you take that side, bring this side in. We'll work just like that, just like this. Then start to roll it up like a jelly roll.
Yeah, this is. And just so everyone's aware, the reason why I wear the coat is because I usually end up with food on me.
There we go. That's it. I'll leave the seam side down. And then we just want to then butter the thing.
Okay. All over? Like
all over. You want to seal this in.
Okay.
And now right here, if you want, you can freeze it.
Oh, okay.
You can freeze it right like this and take it out later and bake it.
Oh, that's so. Just out of curiosity, you're gonna probably have to wrap that pretty good to freeze it, correct?
Yes, you want to. Yeah, you want to wrap it. I like to wrap it in plastic and then wrap it in foil.
Okay.
And then simple, couple minutes, we had that done.
Right.
It's really great around the holidays too. You know, it's a holiday. You have a big turkey,
Right.
And you have leftover turkey.
Correct.
Perfect use for it.
So basically, you could almost use this for anything that you have left over in any capacity.
Absolutely. And some of the mushrooms, we had mushrooms and onions. We were making pizza.
Oh, there you go.
And I had some mushrooms and onions left. Hey, what the heck? Let's throw that in.
Especially when parties are coming up over the next 2 to 3 weeks because of the holiday season.
Well, talking about parties, here we go. This makes it great use for appetizers too.
I was just about to say that once we get everything going here.
I'm going to cut this into thirds.
Okay.
Okay, separate these a little bit. And I'm going to.
So as we continue to do this, that you had Kravitz Deli.
Yes.
How was it just to be there every day to do what you love?
Oh, you know what? It was great. My mom was there. My sister was there. My customers were like my family were there.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was great. I mean, when I decided to leave it, I cried for 2 days. When I sold the business, and in my last couple of days, I literally cried. Not because it wasn't that I didn't want to sell. It just the change. I wouldn't be able to see everybody that I saw before.
Well, you were a landmark in Liberty for years, decades at most.
Yeah.
Almost in the same location.
Yeah.
And I think
well, we were only on Belmont for 50 some years.
Well, but I think the notion of that is to be in the same location nowadays over the last decade. It's something that's not heard of very often.
Yeah, and it opened in 39. Yeah. So, well, here what I'm going to be doing is I'm taking red cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm doing is I'm taking the red cabbage. I'm going to cut this red cabbage down.
Look how it holds the knife.
Holding the knife. Okay, taking the red cabbage. And I'm going to throw that into a pan.
Mm-hmm.
For looking around. I'm going to put some olive oil on it.
Nice, huh? I need one of those. Those are pretty nice.
Yeah, thank you. I like mine a little sweet, so I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to it.
Okay.
And
now, why? How much sugar for something like that? Because people have that tendency to have no sweet versus sweet.
Yeah, there's pepper.
Mm-hmm.
My new salt and pepper grinder. I think they're the greatest thing. But you
tell
probably
he's enjoying this.
you probably want, like, for a half a head, you probably want maybe a tablespoon and a half of sugar, a little less, teaspoon maybe of salt, and then about the same pepper. But it's very to taste. Now, I happen to like mine a little bit sweeter.
Right.
Some people don't like it as sweet. So take this, put it on the range, And it comes out looking like this.
Yeah. See, real quick. And we look at this, and how long do you leave it on there?
Probably about 20 minutes.
Okay. And just kind of mixing it around during that process.
Yep. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, put a little bit of this, and, I'm using my hands. Yes, I'm using my hands.
Your hands are clean.
Well, people ask, when do you have to wear gloves? Which is a real interesting thing. Yeah.
Nowadays it is.
Yeah. But, you need to wear gloves if you're cooking and it's finished food.
Okay.
If it's things you're cooking, they're going to heat up in the oven, and they're okay. So why don't you follow me? Let's take this. There.
Oh, my.
Put this over here.
Oh, mine's already shattering. You can tell.
Yeah, the strudel is, like I said, we probably, it's drying out, like I've said. And we're just going to roll that up. And don't worry for cracks a little bit. It's okay.
I'm not worried about the cracks. I'm worried about that it all goes in one piece.
Yeah, nice appetizer.
Yes, it is.
It's just appetizers.
Well, actually, could this be an appetizer too? Because you could
cut that
these
into pieces.
into little segments.
Yep, appetizer or a meal with salad. But again, you can feel even now.
Like a wrap, basically.
Yeah, you can feel now that it's.
Yeah, see, mine falls apart.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because we're not keeping it as covered as we should, because it really dries out quickly.
Yeah, you can tell if it's out of the plastic, it's going to dry.
It's going to dry.
So you got to keep it in that plastic as long as you possibly can.
Yep. I'm going to put these right here.
No problem.
And then
take
these.
So we've got them set now. So now we're going to put them in our oven. What do we put them in?
About 350 degrees. The big ones will probably take about, I'm going to guess about 40 minutes is what it's going to take. You want to just get them brown.
Okay.
And
so 40 minutes at 350.
350.
And then this is what they come out to be. Oh wow!
And this is what they're going to look like when it's all done.
If you're an Italian, it looks like a pizza roll.
But it doesn't taste like that.
No, it does not.
I'm going to put it in there, set my timer for about 40 minutes.
And then that'll come out like this, which this looks really good.
Yeah, well, we're gonna give it a try.
Yes, we are.
This one's here.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and what is this? Wax paper?
Parchment paper.
Okay. So why parchment paper?
Because it saves me a lot of time in the sink cleaning.
Speaking of a true cook, it just makes my job easier. And I like that. It just makes my job easier. Has nothing to do with cooking.
Nothing to do with cooking. Things don't stick to the parchment paper.
Right.
And let's do this. Well, first of all, let's cut this in half and do an appetizer here.
Yeah. Oh wow, you can feel the crisp in it.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
It's hot. Oh, here's yours.
And there's this one.
There's that.
And you can literally just pick it up this size. Because nice finger food.
Right.
Let's see what you think.
Mmm. Oh wow. That's really good. That's really good. Really crunchy on the outside and really moist on the inside.
Yeah. And cabbage, it's really nice because it's very unexpected.
Mm. Mm. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you.
Well, very organic. They talk about how people in my generation, we use napkins. In my kids' generation, they just use paper towels. Why do you need napkins when you have paper towels?
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
And we look at this, and this one just looks like it has cabbage in it. Correct.
That's the cabbage. That's the appetizer.
And what's in
size.
this one?
This is one with the chicken.
Okay.
Leeks.
Sorry.
Gonna open that up. Take a look at that.
So you can tell with that cheese, it melts it down, and it looks really good. Okay. Let's try. Now, see, as an Italian, the cheese comes into play here.
And okay, this one we probably need a fork.
Yeah, I was just about to think of that too. Oh wow! You don't even taste the leeks.
Mm-mm.
And that's what's so great about it is it brings that taste,
But it adds something to it.
especially when you soak them in olive oil.
Yeah.
That I think that's what really. I could sit here and eat this all day long, but I'm not. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But it's a nice, easy thing. This with a salad, maybe a little sour cream on the side, or yogurt. Wow. You know, it makes a whole quick, easy meal. Everybody thinks you work all day.
Yeah, got it done in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll put these aside.
Put these over here.
And
So we've talked about this with the cabbage and with a variety of different things that we can do. What else can you can pretty much, to be honest, you can put pretty much anything in here.
well, yeah, the phyllo dough.
I'm taking some cheese. Don't mind me.
The phyllo dough is used in baklava. It's used in spanakopita. It's all throughout the Mediterranean countries. They'll use strudel, the phyllo leaves. In the Arabic countries, they'll in Germany, not in France. France, they tend to make their strudel out of puff pastry dough.
Okay.
Same fillings, well, French met.
Well,
sure
I mean,
that,
I think you could, if you don't have this, you could always use wraps. You can use you're not going to get the same taste in it.
No, then you have sandwiches.
Exactly.
This is not sandwiches. These are appetizers and entrees. Wrapped all the you can use same fillings, but these I don't know if you can really use a wrap with it or not. But
someone will try it.
Someone will try it. Yeah.
So what's next?
Next, is chicken soup.
Everyone's delight, no matter if you're sick, it's cold outside.
Something quick for friends or family coming over. It's easy to boil up some noodles, which I'm gonna put this on so the water gets boiled to throw some noodles on.
But out of the way.
But this is an Instant Pot recipe, and I am a big advocate of using the Instant Pot because instead of cooking this for 4 hours, you can cook it for about an hour.
Okay.
And it comes out great, and and I have. And I'll usually look at the grocery stores, and if there's a sale on chicken, I'll use it. Now, you want to make a good chicken soup, you need bones. If you don't use bone, just meat, then it becomes a stock. It becomes a broth, not a stock. And if you use bones, you get a richer flavor. Takes a little longer. But what you really look for is a good chicken stock.
Okay, and you can get that at any local grocery store.
A chicken?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this I literally look for sales, or you can take a whole chicken. Sometimes I'll take a whole chicken. I'll take out the breastbone, which is what we kind of like, and then I'll take the whole rest of the chicken, throw it in my Instant Pot.
Okay.
And this one, I think I got a bunch of legs and thighs, which are on sale.
Yeah, there you go
for like 60 cents a pound one day.
Wow, which is that's especially nowadays.
And I took them, throw them in my freezer. You could actually make this with the chicken that's still frozen.
Really?
Oh. You don't have to defrost it. It's going to take a little bit longer because the water has to come up to temperature, and the chicken works like an ice cube. You know how hard it is with an ice cube to get it to melt.
Right.
So I'm just going to take the chicken. I'm just going to throw the chicken in.
Now, do you have to prep it at all? I know we talked a little bit about you pull out certain things and.
You really don't. If you want to skin it, you can skin it. Okay. But you don't have to. Okay. You don't have to do much. Just throw it in the Instant Pot. If it happens to be, here we go. Okay, got my water boiling. If it happens to be backs, you can. It makes great soup. I have a friend who only likes hers with necks. He has a special order of chicken necks to make your soup. Okay. We'll use whole chickens. We'll use cut up chickens, whatever parts you can get, whichever's the cheapest, really.
Right.
You know, the history of all of our backgrounds, the Italian background, Jewish background, we came to this country, we had no money.
Yeah.
You know, so we
put stuff together.
We weren't making gourmet food. We were making food that we could get, throwaway food, the stuff that's cheap enough to make.
Well, I think you look at it as, like you said, no matter what background, you looked at different avenues of what was at the grocery store, what you could afford at that time, and just say, I can get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then the mothers and grandmas just did their magic in the cooking.
Pastas. I mean, pastas. That was never something that was meant just to be the gourmet thing. That was meant to stretch the budgets.
Exactly. Well, yeah, especially when they were making those long things and they did it by hand.
Yeah.
So we talk about the chicken in there. So go ahead
I just put the chicken in a whole cut up. Just make sure it fits in the pot. If it doesn't fit in the pot, you have to cut.
And these Instant Pots are pretty big.
Yeah, it'll make about a couple gallons.
Okay.
Of soup, and then I get some carrots. These are just baby carrots that I got from the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Interesting about baby carrots. Now people are against baby carrots. Well, I've been reading that baby carrots actually saved the carrot industry, because the carrot industry was going down, and then they learned how they take the carrots and make baby carrots. The rest of they make other things too. But people really like the idea of ready to go baby carrots.
Well, I think anywhere, because the other ones you had to clean, you had to do all that prep work for almost a long, and then they're already done.
And I'm going to take some carrots.
You just put them in all together. Okay.
Throw them in just as they are. If you want whole carrots, you throw whole carrots in there. I'm going to dig some celery.
Ah, yes.
I've cleaned the celery. And again, I'm not just want to chunk it, throw it in the pot. Half an onion. Kind of leave the bottom still intact. Throw that in there. This is the secret. Parsnips.
The secret. Okay.
The secret. Parsnips look like a carrot. They're a little sweeter. You have to peel them.
He makes that look easy, doesn't he? I'm sitting there probably like this. Yeah.
Take it off the top, take it off the bottom, and kind of smell. It smells like radishy.
Yeah, it does.
And
it doesn't even,
it looks like a carrot. It's not taste like a carrot. It's just a little sweet.
Maybe that's what it smells like, a carrot too. Like just the way it smells.
Yeah, but it has a little bit of a radishy kind of flavor.
Right.
And
you would never guess that with something like that.
Yeah. Throw that in there. It gives it a little bit of sweetness. I'm going to take some peppercorns, a few peppercorns. Now, other things I'd put in here sometimes, a chunk of ginger is really good in there. You can put in cabbage, a chunk of cabbage.
No, we had some.
Yeah. Now, I don't think you want the red cabbage. I think you want white cabbage in here. But I'm going to throw some peppercorns. Mm-hmm. Some salt.
Do you like it? Do you like the soup sweet, or do you like it just kind of a blend?
This one I really don't do sweet. Although I do have some recipes for a little sweeter chicken soup.
Okay.
Chicken vegetable soup.
Okay.
I take that, and I'm going to just then get some water. Just regular tap water.
Okay.
Any question while I'm watching away your water bill?
Well, it's just kind of letting people digest and figure out what you're putting in, because you can almost put in any type of vegetables in here.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just putting in a variety of different things in here that suit your needs.
Yep. And you'll see when in the Instant Pot, there's a line that says don't fill above that.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, don't fill above that. You'll get steam out everywhere from this.
Read the directions of the machine before you use it. Disclaimer.
But there's no really right and wrong to do that.
So you filled it up to the line, and you've got everything in it.
Everything in there.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put the lid of the Instant Pot on. Okay, make sure that this is pressure release. That has to go down.
Okay.
Because when you use it's a pressure cooker.
Okay.
So if you're if you're going to be trying to build pressure, don't get the pressure relief there because it'll never go on.
Right.
And this takes my time to heat up. I'll take this and set it anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. The longer you go, I think it's even better because when everything's going to come out, it's going to be virtually disintegrated. All the flavors,
and that's where you get kind of that juicy type of the chicken taste.
Yep. In fact, I have this set right now. I think I'm going to set it for a minute and 9 seconds. An hour and 9 minutes.
That's a good number.
Okay, and then I have it on soup.
Yeah, make sure your settings are correct, and make sure you're reading the directions on the machine.
Yeah, let's see. So I'll put it on here. It's going to build up pressure, and then it'll come down and it'll start to pressurize. There it goes.
There you go.
Now that's not built up. Now pressure's not built up in here yet.
Right. You're talking probably at least 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes
till it gets boiling. Like you're boiling anything, the pressure will go.
Yep. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just get those noodles that we were talking about. Now, there's lots of different kind of noodles. You want to use
a lot of different types of noodles.
A lot of different noodles. These are egg noodles, and we tend to use thin noodles.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's country chicken soup, they'll use wider, thick noodles.
Okay.
Same thing. Most of the time when you get a soup in a Jewish deli, it doesn't have meat in it.
Okay.
Maybe a few vegetables, and it's just run more of a clear chicken broth. So let this go. This is going to take about 3 minutes.
That's why noodles are so easy to make.
Yes.
Oh, I need some noodles. I'll take care of that. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. And
so what does that look like with the noodles that you're making?
What does it look like?
Yeah. So we're boiling this.
We're boiling the noodles, and then I'm going to drain the noodles, and then eventually I add it to the soup.
And as television is, we already have it pre-cooked.
I already have an Instant Pot that I've been going, and you'll be able to hear it. I don't know if I can go on the other side or not. I can move this.
Yeah.
Over.
See if you could slide through.
Let me slide this over.
There we go.
Okay. And we're just going to say this has been on about 45 minutes, and I'm just going to cancel this. Now, normally it would finish. I would let it rest. It's called a natural release.
Okay.
You just let it rest in the pot and let it. Oh, there we go.
That's something.
Noodles are done.
Yep, noodles are done. Just make sure you got to watch this.
That's about 3 minutes. We're going to send them.
We're going to strain it. Strain it, make sure it's good to go.
Get those out of the way. Okay. There we go. Reminds us to keep watching.
Yep.
So after that, then, because you do a full release.
Okay.
Because you'll notice, one thing with the Instant Pot, you can't open it.
Okay.
You can't open it when there's pressure. That's the safety mechanism.
Okay.
I cannot open this lid. I have to release the pressure. Which here...
There it is. Almost like a teapot.
Yep. I have to release all that pressure. All this pressure is building up inside, and that's what makes it cook faster.
Well, so we've got an Instant Pot, me and my wife, and we've started to use it. And you can pretty much use it for anything.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. You don't get that thickness you get when you're on top of the stove. Like if you made a tomato sauce in there, you're not going to get that thickening because everything stays in.
Right.
Okay.
So now we've waited for the exhaust.
All the pressure to build out. Now it'll open. See, now it'll open.
Oh wow! Look at that.
And you can see it. The chicken's already done. The vegetables are soft. Again, if you want to make it do longer. Take this. I'm gonna take the stuff out. It'll stand in there. It doesn't burn.
Look at that! Wow.
You can see the chicken's really, really cooked. Yep.
Yeah, look at that here. Good.
Okay, here we go.
Make it easier for you.
All right, now.
Wow, look at this. Take this. Move to the side.
Here we are. We are ready to go.
Wow, this looks really good.
Yeah, we're gonna get our noodles that we did earlier.
Never can go wrong on noodles. And then there's your chicken broth.
There's your broth. Now, normally I would be tasting it right about now to see if I wanted to add more salt, because I tend to undersalt.
Okay.
Because you can always add more salt.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take away. Let me soup spoons.
Thank you.
And let me see if we have enough salt in here. Yeah, we actually do.
Good. Thank you.
There's our soup. And again, I'm not using the vegetables. I've taken everything out of there, so I have a clear broth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to take the chicken and add it back to the soup.
Okay.
It's been cooked away. Now, my dog Dylan loves the chicken out of the soup.
I think any dog will love any big bones of meat. Oh, here we go. Hotness. Oh, wow. That's a nice broth.
It has been cooking all day. If you want to add more salt, add more salt. If it's not chickeny enough, you can always add chicken base to it.
Okay.
Now, watch when you add chicken base though.
Okay.
The granular stuff is all salt. If you read the ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
it's salt with some chicken flavor. The paste is all chicken. So if you want a little more flavor,
Now you do that after.
so if you want to get a little more flavor, you said, not chickeny enough for me. It was too young a chicken. Older chickens make
Well, and I
better
think
soup.
you this looks great. And what happens? Like you looked, you opened it, we exhausted all the steam. What happens if it needed cooked more? You can
put it on longer. It's not as easy to cook in the Instant Pot. You could take it to the stove,
right,
and just put it on the stove and let it cook on the stove a little longer.
like warming it up, warming something
up. Yeah. But if you can go an hour and a half on this, it really won't hurt it the longer you go.
It'll just make it better.
It'll just make it better.
Because you can look at it, right? You can, and I go back to this because we were just talking about this. Is you could add some cheese into this that you've already used while making all this as a side dish, as a main course.
Well, the nice thing is, this could be a base for all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
A chicken pot pie. You just thicken this a little bit, and you can and put some chopped chicken and some peas and carrots and maybe potatoes. Get a pie shelf at the grocery store.
Right.
Cook it a little bit. Throw stuff in there. Put a cover on it. Chicken pot pie. If you want to, put some cheese in there. You can do that. If you want to put some greens and meatballs and chicken
now wedding soup
and eggs, you get a wedding soup. It all starts with the basic broth.
And we look at that as a bold, kind of a bold food with chicken, and we look at it as, hey, look, this is what we just cooked here could be a variety for dinner, could be appetizers, could be a starter.
Yep.
So very easy, very simple to make within an hour.
Yep. And the strudel, if you do it with fruit, of
Mm-hmm.
course, that becomes dessert.
Oh, I didn't never thought of it that.
Apple strudel. It's the same dough as apple strudel would be.
I like how we just use the word strudel and we can add anything in front of it.
Yeah. Apple strudel. I made a pear strudel.
Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and I put some jelly in with it on top to give it that sweetness. It was really good.
Well, I appreciate you taking time.
My pleasure.
This has been great. You can find any of these recipes on our website at spanningtheneed.com. We'll have all step-by-step on how to make these with all the ingredients and some how to put it in the oven and wrap it. So we have all that online on our website. Jack, I appreciate you taking time.
Thank you.
I do have a couple questions for you at the end of each show. I like to have some fun with my guests.
Okay, fun with guests.
Yes, that's what we call it. I call it getting personal with the guests. So I got 3 quick questions. What is your best? So either answer can be personal or professional. It's your choice. I've never seen a right or wrong answer. We'll leave it at that. What's your best accomplishment?
Oh boy, besides family and kids, I mean that's obvious,
right?
Having a great family. Both my kids have PhDs, and one has a PhD in applied mathematics. The other has a PhD in statistics.
All math.
And my wife is an attorney. She runs human resources at YSU, so she's still working.
I think you laugh at that. So like, I'm here retired.
But my biggest accomplishment is that we built this business, and I was in the wholesale bakery business, and we ended up having to close that at 48, and I really got a chance to start over. And not what I wanted to, but it's what we did.
Right.
And we made a decision that we're going to redo the deli, bring it back from where it was. Get it really run down. My mom was 88 at the time, and I turned to her and said, "Hey, Mom, you think about retiring?" And
she probably told you no.
Yeah, not really, but okay, part time,
which was still full time to them.
Yes,
because back then, anyone that like the older generations, they worked hard.
We worked hard. We lived upstairs. We wound up on our former ads. It said open till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
A deli open till 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's unheard of. But I think bringing the deli back, that was a real accomplishment.
And that's good because I know a lot of people. You're only down the street from Youngstown State. You're down the street from right off the highway, like very easy accessible.
Well, we're in the crossroads between Mahoning and Trumbull County. We're actually in Trumbull County, but we're a suburb of Youngstown.
Yeah, but your mailing address is probably Youngstown.
Yeah. And of course, my house, I have a Hubbard mailing address.
Yeah,
I live in Liberty.
Yeah, it's so weird. What if there was a one person, who would be your role model?
Obviously, Rose Kravitz was my mom. Mm-hmm. And she was the first woman in business in Youngstown. Mm-hmm. 1939, she went in business for herself.
Wow.
And she said she had no money. She said she had to barter for everything. And
back then, I mean, that was right after the Great Depression, during World War I.
And they had
World II, sorry.
They had no money. She said that after they got everything set, ready to open up, she realized she didn't have change. They had no money. They had to borrow money to make change for the first day of business. Wow. And she was always a trendsetter. I think she was one of the first businesses to really integrate. Because we always had a mixture of customers, whether they're African American or Jewish. She always would talk about the Catholic diocese and say, "I have more friends in the Catholic diocese than I have in the Jewish community."
Well, I mean, this Mahoning Valley is huge ethnic, all over the place, especially back then when the city of Youngstown and the area was really thriving.
Yep,
with the steel mills back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
And speaking of that, she saw all that change. She was there when you had rationing, right? And there was a gentleman that used to drive right on a train from Chicago, and you'd have to have a little packet of money. And when you shook Eddie Cave, you'd shake hands, you'd give him the money.
He's a son of the
so you could get your deli meats for the for the month. And she saw the steel mills close.
Yeah, I think that was big for everyone, because anyone that kind of like your mom that lived through the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s in this area saw it thriving, and then a huge depression of this area.
Yeah, and so she made it through that. She kept on going despite all the hardships. My dad had health problems his whole life, and she wanted to. The reason she got in the deli business is she wanted something that she could be at and yet be able to let my dad work as much or as little as he could, and have her kids around.
Right, because they put them to work.
Put them to work. Yeah, we used to live upstairs, and we each have they'd have a buzzer. And every kid would have a different buzzer. I was 3, my middle sister was 2, my other one was 1. So whoever they wanted, they hit the buzzer like a doorbell.
I'm surprised none of you cut the line one day as a prank. So last question: if there was one person you would want to meet, past or present, who would it be and why?
Wow, that's a really good question. One I really haven't thought too much about. I guess there isn't any one person I would want to.
I've had some people that want a couple people. Some people say, you know what, there's I have a list of people I would love to meet, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I would love to have met James Beard when he was cooking. I think because I really think I loved his style of cooking.
Okay.
More than I like Julia Child. I think James Beard would have been just a great person to meet. A couple of legal figures because I went to law school, so
right.
A
lawyer and a cook.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm going to negotiate that dinner with you.
Yeah. Oliver Wendell Holmes, you'd like to have met, or Clarence Darrow.
There's so much done.
That strudel's ready.
This strudel's ready.
Yeah. So there's I'd like to see my mom again. If I can bring her back.
I get it. You just want to spend that time and
get that
Jack,
information.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming. We appreciate you joining us for the Cooking for the Holidays. We wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You can check out the recipes that we covered today at expandingtheneed.com. We'll have all that information. Also, Laid Back with Jack's going to be coming back for some more episodes. So check his cooking classes out in the future.
Happy Hanukkah too.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah.
You're the Jewish guy from the Jewish Deli.
Yeah, you know what? You can't cover them all, but we wish everyone their holidays, and we wish you the very best. I'm Anthony Spano. Got Chef Kravitz. Good night.
Good night.